Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Andrew, and I'm developing a game I call The Colony New Haven Chronicles in the Godot engine. So, this iteration, I kind of want to talk about one of my processes, and that's really this key opening up a door, or this is like an action. So we could go ahead and shoot this red item, and then the door disappears, and then it closes again. So think of like Metroid or some games where you open up a door where the action is you have to shoot it, and then you either leave or you initiate a next area and the door closes. Or in this case, I shoot the item, unlocks the door. After 5 seconds, it's gonna reclose. So let's go ahead and close this. And I really want to just kind of share this because this is part of my process, and I'm not saying this is the right way or wrong way. This is just how I do things. So if we take our attention to the actual key itself, I have several things going on here. I have what the sprite looks like. I have an animation player. This just basically tells it when to look unlocked, when we want to look at the lock state. I just have that as default. Default is something I just use for all my animations. That's going to be like auto play on load. So once the scene loads, it's just going to play it automatically. And then I have like a reset timer. I just call this a respawn timer because I'm actually copying and pasting previous code. I just never went around to rename this. And then we have some impacts. So we have something when the door comes back. And then we have something when the door unlocks or it leaves the area. The second item is actually the door itself. So I just have a collision shape. I have what that area looks like. You know, it's just really saying this is the shape of it. And then it's reset timer. So two separate things. And I'm matching whatever that timeout period is for that door or for the key. And finally, I have, when I select the actual, like the parent node, I have how many of these keys it needs. So think of games or think of areas where you might have to shoot 2 items to unlock a door. And how does that work? So I'm using an export variable. So let's say instead of shooting one of these, I wanted to shoot 2 of them to unlock. So if I were to play the scene all over again, we'll see that, you know, shooting it just once is not going to cut it. Let's go ahead and hit my nifty cheat button. It doesn't do anything. Now, if that was 2 of these items, then we would get rid of the door itself. So let's go ahead and do that. And what's really cool about this code is it's really copy and paste. I built it once and I don't have to worry about doing it multiple times. But let's go ahead and look at what that looks like. So I have 5 seconds to shoot the second one to unlock this. And don't worry about the sound effect though, but I'm gonna go ahead and let that reset. But you'd say if I were to shoot it again, and then this one, boom, disappears. And what does that look like over here? So let me just stop this. But we could see that as I shot the item, or I shot the key, we added 1 to our temp key. Then we just had a reset, and then we shot it again, and then we shot the second one within that 5-second period. Then we could see that the timer timed out and the door came back. And these are just notes that I have in game itself. So other updates that I did throughout the game is actually let's restart this. And the next area of interest is going to be our like objective icons. So we could see once we're in range of something, the eye is going to get a little bit bigger. Let's get out of range. The eye icon or indicator, it gets smaller. So it gives you a good idea of like, hey, where do I have to go next? Or what is a side objective. Right now I just have a primary objective as one of them, and the second one I was just testing out what would that look like to have another item. So I made this map, or I made this interface, or this computer terminal, you know, one of them, and then I just have like another person that I could talk to that we could see. Next, I just added a really, like, not really polished, but it's a timer just to tell you, hey, what time of day it is. And how that works is, let's go ahead and leave this area. We could see that, hey, you know what, it's daytime, and I'm just using 30-second cycles at this moment to determine when is it going to be daytime and then when it's going to be nighttime. You know, so the big thing about a day-night cycle right now is it spawns enemies at night between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. And then I have like a 2-hour window where you could either escape, like escape meaning go to another building, because monsters don't spawn in buildings, or you got that 2-hour grace period to really just kill whatever spawn enemies there are. I started adding some effects, just like grass, for example, and these are like respawnable blocks, really. So if I were to shoot them, they're gonna respawn after a few seconds, and there they are. This is the same concept where in one of the levels we have these like gooey slime blocks. But in this case, I can't walk through them. These I made purposely with like a collision layer, so we could shoot it and then go through. And then once this respawns, we'll see it came back. Let's go inside really quick. In the Plasma Tech Industries, here's gonna be another level that is nearly developed. And I just say nearly because I have to add some enemies. I'm in the process of adding new types of enemies, and then what the layout of this area really is. But yeah, this is just a really quick glimpse of some of the development that I do, what it looks like. If I were to share some of the code, you know, it's just my process. You know, it doesn't work the first time I write it. I might go through several iterations. For example, so today I woke up around like 5 a.m. I knew I wanted a key and door to open based off of the player, you know, shooting this item to unlock a door and then respawn. And honestly, that took me a couple hours. It did take me a little bit longer than I expected, but sometimes that's just what it is. You know, it's really just figuring out what works for you and then executing it and then polish as you go. And that's what I've been just really doing with this. All right, guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the comments below, and then let's talk about it. I'll see you at the next video. Thanks.